Why is it that some traders end up getting stuck for 2, 3, 5, 10 years plus, not really making progress while they work hard? Yet others are able to make profitability and crush it so quickly. So I think a lot of that is that some figure out the meta and they can grow really quick. So what is the meta or the metagame? That's a term from video game world where it's the most effective set of rules or strategies for winning under the current conditions. And so in this talk, what I want to provide for you is a better frame for how to view trading and the learning curve. I will cover the universal meta principles, meaning what are the all-time true things that all traders need to be aware of that stay true for as long as time, as well as how to figure out the evolving meta principles. In other words, what are the things that change as markets change? For example, video games have updates and patches, so they might change what the best class is or the best character or the best spell or weapon. And ultimately, the players need to adapt around those patches, and markets are no different. So I am going to give you the tips and tricks to speedrun your way to profitability and make this as relevant to you and your journey as possible. So here is my really big ask though, especially taking time on this wonderful weekend to share this knowledge with you all. I'm ultimately here for one main reason, to raise money for charity. And Richard and Traderline, they put on an incredible conference. There's so much value. Traders from all types of backgrounds taking time to share knowledge. But I have one issue with this. Today, it raises only pennies per viewer. But at just $1 per viewer, we could be raising over $250K every single year for charity. The issue, though, is most won't donate. They will find some value in this, but it's a free conference, and that's great, and I salute Richard for putting this on. But how can we just make that little bit of a difference? I get that most won't donate, but will you? Every dollar truly counts, because even if we get a couple dollars for each user, or $5 or $10, we can raise a massive amount of money for a good cause, and that is what I'm here for. Without further ado, we will now step into the world as a level 1 trader. If you've played any role-playing game, you know what it's like to be there with like barely any clothes, no weapon, no armor, and you step out into this massive world. That first part of the game is usually where you choose a class. What type of character will you be? Will you be a mage, a warrior, a paladin, a healer? All these different things you get to choose. And trading is not so different from that. You can be a swing trader or an intraday trader. You can trade stocks. You can trade futures. You can trade crypto. You can trade options. You can do all this systematically using programming and automation and AI. Or you can do it discretionarily, meaning using your keyboard and the old, fingers and hands.
The old thinking.
Yeah, and a little bit of your brain. Not that you always need to be a genius, but hey, maybe you are a genius and we can take advantage of that. And so you get to decide your class. There's so many different ways to make a buck, and there's so many ways to beat a role-playing game. And then you allocate your initial skill points.